Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back finally after having 2 weeks off through sicknesses and other events. As always, though, I am Kyle,
I'm Austin.
and we're just going to dive right in because we have a lot to catch up on in the world of baseball since the last we talked, which was right after opening day. Now, a lot of big news. We'll kick it off, of course, with the Cardinals as always. And one of the biggest issues. Now, the Cardinals have started off the season going into tonight's game against Seattle at an 8-11 record. Not fantastic. We have bumped up out of last place by one game in the division. We're getting somewhere. We're working on it. Biggest issue, though, is starting pitching struggles and a little bit in the bullpen. We'll start with the starters here. Our two biggest ones so far, Jordan Montgomery, 2-2, 4.84 ERA. Which he started off rocky his first start or so, and he started to calm down and really get into it. So I'm hoping that stays. Jack Flaherty, surprisingly enough, has a 1-2 record, but has the lowest ERA at a 2.95 out of our starters. Doesn't make any sense, but then of course with Steven Matz, 0-2 record with a 6.48. Michaelis, our ace of last year, not having a great start. 0-1 with an 8.1 ERA. And then Jake Woodford, our newest member of the starting rotation, 1-2 with a 6.05. I'm not hardcore impressed with our starting. You know, Flaherty got to watch his first start of the season when we went that Saturday, second game on opening weekend there. The walks were incredible for not having any hits or runs.
Yeah, they were. I'll just say now, I was wrong. At the first podcast or second, I said pitching's going to be fine this year. I'm wrong. Our pitching sucks. We suck. We're trash. Oh, pitching. Flaherty is our best pitcher, and that's saying something because, he's been trash. So, I'm wrong.
Overall, our offense in whole hasn't been bad. We've had our weak points. What gets me, though, is we go from days of double-digit runs, and then all of a sudden, the worst teams we're facing, like the Pirates and stuff, with not great starters, are just shutting us down left and right.
That always seems to be the Cardinal way, and I hate it.
I know.
You score 10 runs in one game, you're only scoring maybe 2 or 3 the next.
And then the last topic on the pitching subject, Jordan Hicks. This guy. When are we going to learn to not put him in? Like, ever. Like, when are we going to get rid of him?
After I say,
Listen, throwing 103, 104 is impressive. Don't get me wrong.
I wish I could do it.
But there's a difference between Ryan Helsley's 2.57 ERA throwing 104 versus Jordan Hicks's 104 at 9.39 on the ERA. That's awful. And each one of them, he's blew the games for us in the 8th or 9th.
Yeah, stop putting him in, Ollie. Stop putting him in.
Well, and Ollie's getting a lot of hate, too, for it because it's just left and right. We just keep trusting Hicks, and we shouldn't.
I get we pay these guys and we have to use them, but I guess we can put some of the blame.
I feel like there's more people in the minors that deserve a better chance than Hicks.
I guess we can put more of the blame not on Ollie, but on our front office. Get rid of Hicks, and so Ollie doesn't feel pressured to put him in.
Oh, for sure.
It's bad, but...
So those are our pitching struggles, of course, to start the season.
Let's talk a little more on our offense. Mm-hmm. First of all, our offense is still great. Our defense is still great besides the pitching part of the defense. Still got great defense. But Gorman, let's talk about this guy.
Let's talk about MVP
Keep it going, MVP Nolan Gorman, who couldn't barely hit the ball last year, is now leading the team in home runs, average, and RBIs. 5 home runs, a .316 average, just a little bit above Goldie, and 18 RBIs.
And I forget what the MLB is. I just seen this today. I think he's 5th in batting average, 4th in home runs, and 6th in RBIs in the MLB right now. That's insane.
After such a terrible year last year.
We thought he was going to break out. Had first couple games were insane, but he ended up being a lot of home runs and a lot more strikeouts, and that was about literally all he did, with some errors in between.
Which thing, and I guess he came up, everybody expecting him to hit like he hit in the minors, but minors is completely different.
Not everybody's Jordan Walker on your first 12 games. I mean, come on.
But,
But I was very optimistic on Gorman, especially after the spring he had. Looked like he really got more comfortable in there. And boy, has he really stepped up big like I wanted him to. And I am loving every second of it.
Gorman could easily be an MVP if he keeps this up. Easy.
Oh, yeah. Easy.
He's going to be with Nolan and Goldie in the MVP race. We're on first, second, and third.
Yeah,
someone's going to get it because
this is great.
All three of them are killing it. Gorman's just, I love it.
One other guy though, which I don't know. I kind of see where our thoughts were, and I kind of don't see where our thoughts were on this. With Juan Yepes, I've seen a lot about the potential of trading Yepes now. Because quite frankly, we're not going to use him except for when somebody get injured.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Unless we get rid of Tyler, which is always an option too, we don't want to get rid of apparently anybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, Carlson I would be okay with
Yeah.
if we got the right people. Like the right big starting pitcher, the right other big bat for the outfield with a good glove or something. But I just feel like if we were going to trade Carlson, we would have already done it. Because there was plenty of talks of him being wrapped up with like Brian Reynolds and different things of trade, and we never did it. But if we get rid of Yepes, as long as it's for somebody big enough, like a big starter, and he's packaged in with that, I think I'd be okay with it. If we're not going to use him at the major league level, he deserves to be.
I say he needs to play.
He deserves his chance in the major league level. I mean, he proved it last year.
Yeah, he needs to play
that he deserves at least a shot to stay up in the majors. So I feel like it'd be good for him at the same time as us if we get the right pitching out of this.
I mean, I like Yepes, but it'd be nice to see him actually go somewhere he's going to play every day.
Oh, yeah.
Because he deserves to play.
Because there's plenty of teams that don't have a solid outfield that he could easily step up and be their big gun. I mean, easy all day long.
So what are we, like 2-3 weeks into the season right now?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on Walker still so far?
All of them.
Yeah, I still love Walker.
He's still one of my favorites right now on the team.
Let's see what he's at. 269, still pretty good for a rookie especially.
Yeah, 269. But the fact, he's still doing the job, though. He's doing what we wanted him to do at the big league level.
I just think they should move him up in the
he's hitting all
lineup.
the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the guy. He's got all the credentials to be an absolute beast as he goes on and gets.
Speaking of Jordan Walker, perfect timing. I think he just doubled in a run or something. I got an update.
Let's do it.
But I'm pretty sure he literally just doubled in a run.
Jordan gets it done, man.
Let's go. Perfect timing. So, yeah, love him even more now.
Oh, yeah. I absolutely love Jordan Walker, and I think he could be a really big franchise face as he goes along and adapts more into the major league roles.
And can easily win Rookie of the Year.
I think he's got a shot. Very, very good shot. What about Wilson Contreras? Had a really slow start, but has unleashed what we know Wilson Contreras can be and what we were all hoping for out of that catching position, finally getting some good offense back into the catching.
That's what we wanted when we took him from the Cubbies. That's great.
And it is great. Speaking of the Cubs, then their greatness all of a sudden this season, they get rid of everybody. They bring in Dansby Swanson, one guy, and now they're just a beast.
That's another thing I was wrong about. I didn't think they'd get much better, but now
Cody Bellinger is absolutely killing it. Patrick Wisdom is leading up in there in the MLB lead with home runs. Like, he's already almost at double digits.
Yeah, it's
Where did Patrick come from? Like, I knew he had
used to
power.
have this guy.
I knew he had power, but come on, already you're almost at double digits. Where did this come from?
Yeah.
There's a lot of big surprises right now.
There is.
I mean, some of them, you already knew what's happening. Yordan Alvarez at the top with home runs. Yeah, you knew that was coming. He's a beast. But Patrick Wisdom, I don't think anybody's seen being at the top.
Talk about another surprise. Just came to my head. The Dodgers are literally kind of trash too. I think they're at an even 500 right now. Nobody's seen that coming.
I think half of their problem. I'm trying to think of who all they got rid of. They lost Gavin Lux to injury.
Bellinger, of course.
They lost Bellinger, and he's tearing it up. Trey Turner.
Yeah.
Which is another big thing because the Phillies suck.
Yeah.
I don't understand what happened there.
And Trey Turner just hit his first home run with them like a few days ago after tearing it up in the
I
World Baseball
don't
Classic.
understand. Like, they have such a stacked team. I mean, maybe once they get Reese and Bryce back, they start stepping up their game.
I hope
But
something
even
happens.
without them, like, you still have
You still got
JT
such a
Remuto,
dominant-
Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber. I mean, Alec Boehm's not a bad player. Bryson Stott's been
Yeah,
killing
I was
it.
about to say Bryson Stott.
He's been killing it. I mean,
It doesn't make sense.
Nick Castellanos is doing good,
Uh huh.
but yet you're still not anywhere close to the top right now.
It makes zero sense how
Yeah.
they're a bad team right now.
And Brandon Marsh, where'd he come from? He's all of a sudden an
Yeah.
absolute beast too, but yet they're still not winning.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
it doesn't make sense.
No.
But I will say the good news for them and I guess all of us, we're not the A's. The A's have only won 3 games this season.
Oh yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah, that's bad.
Speaking of A's, they're going to be relocating or something, I think, in
I think Las Vegas. Yes, I read that.
One of the smallest team franchises in baseball right now are going to Las Vegas. So.
But they have some of the most loyal.
Oh yeah, that's
I
for
don't
sure.
care what you guys are doing. We love the A's kind of fans.
Yeah,
Which is great. I love that.
they're
Yeah.
loyal, 10,000 fans.
Yep.
But they're loyal.
And they always show up big. My favorite topic here. 0 for 5 with 2 Ks in his first game back in a Padres uniform. Welcome back to the big leagues, Fernando Tatis.
How the steroids doing, buddy?
Yeah, fresh off suspension, tore it up in minors, and now welcome back to the majors. You can't hit again.
Everybody. Well,
Hey, I
won't say
finally got the
everybody.
Jordan Walker.
Was it a double?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Doubled and top
Yeah.
2 runners scored, actually.
Nice. But yeah,
But anyways,
Tatis, you're trash. I'm sorry.
like, it's the minors. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's Tatis in the minors.
Yeah,
8 home runs is nothing.
I could hit at least 4 of them.
I was ready, but I was ready for him to come back and see what he actually did in the majors back up in here fresh off suspension. And I haven't been disappointed yet.
My guy over here, that's sitting by me, old Braden Patterson over here, he just brought up a great point of the Rays. How amazing the
Oh, yeah.
Rays were with a 13-0 start.
Oh, yeah.
And now they are 17-3. They lost like 2 games in a row, then lost 1 more. Now they're 17-3. I knew the Rays were good, but who's seen this coming?
Yeah, I don't think I was expecting the Rays.
Not at all.
I mean, I didn't know that I expected the Yankees to start as hot as they did last year, but I definitely didn't expect the Rays to be that much better than everybody else in the whole MLB.
If it wasn't for their hot start, Baltimore would be in the lead of their division right now.
I
12
want
and 7.
Baltimore to go
I
far.
would love it.
Dude, like, I'm a Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman fan, hardcore.
And Baltimore's
Love
been
both
so
those guys.
bad for a while.
Yeah. And then, that's another one. Speaking of the Orioles, Ryan Mountcastle. That dude's killing it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he had it in him. Like, I knew the name, but I didn't realize he actually had it in him.
I'm rooting for Baltimore, but I don't think they're catching the Rays for a little bit. So they're not super far behind, but
And then, of course, Max Scherzer is suspended 10 games,
10 games.
which isn't the hugest blow.
No.
It is, but it isn't. Because in the course of that, you maybe get 2 starts is all he's missing, really.
Yeah, I think it's a stupid suspension, to be
yeah.
honest with you. 'Cause
Everything is.
Was it the rosin bag or something?
Yeah.
I think it was a mix of rosin bag and sweat. If you mix rosin bag stuff with the sweat, it gets sticky. So, I mean, if you don't want them to do it, then don't put the rosin bag on the mound.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't know. How do you kick a guy out for that? You put it on the mound for them to use.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that's just kind of to me. I mean, the games are kind of more exciting with the pitch clock
Like offensively.
in a way. I feel like it's a little more exciting because you got quicker action, just bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
So it kind of, if you get on a streak, it gets really exciting because of you're not taking 40 years. All right, 30 mound visits later, we're finally going to get to the next batter. So in a way, I think it's kind of neat. But at the other time, it's taking away my baseball time, man.
Yeah.
We had a game under 2 hours the other day.
Yeah,
Like, good grief.
Hour
and 57 minutes. What was it, the Red Sox?
Uh-huh.
Red Sox game?
And I don't remember. It
I don't
was
remember
Red
who it
Sox,
was.
though.
I knew it was Red Sox.
But I paid all this money for a ticket, and I want to go sit there and enjoy my nachos for 3 hours, and let me go sit there and enjoy my nacho for 3 hours.
I enjoy those soggy nachos.
I don't care. I want to
Helmet
go to the
nachos,
ballpark.
particularly.
Yeah.
Share a helmet nacho.
And it takes me 3 hours to
just
drink
feels
one
like
full souvenir cup of soda
no
anyway, so
kidding.
now I can't even get half of it done in 2 hours.
So there's pros and cons to all of it. Another thing, the Cardinals have statistically been cheated the absolute most with balls and strike calls. By far.
Umpires have been awful throughout the whole MLB, but yes,
But
completely agree on
no, it's statistics. I read it.
good.
Statistically, we are like blowing everybody out of the water with bad calls. Like they're calling it worse on us than any other team. It's ridiculous.
There was one like a few games ago that was at least 6 inches out of the strike zone.
Oh yeah, they all are.
You're getting paid. You're a major league umpire getting paid.
That's probably why he doesn't care.
Yeah,
He's getting paid so much. I don't care. Ball.
we've got worse umpires than we've ever had before.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, look at the Max Scherzer suspension.
Oh yeah,
That was
it's
stupid.
awful. And don't worry, it's nothing good.
Oh,
You don't want to look at that
Oh,
notification.
come on, Cardinals.
But so another big deal here. Shohei Ohtani. It has been confirmed, stated, if the Angels don't make playoffs this year, Shohei will not be an Angel next year. Is there potential for a massive package deal to bring him to the best fans in baseball?
Hey, I say if they don't trade him, we at least sign him in the offseason. He wants to be with Newt. We all know he does.
Oh, yeah.
He misses Newt.
Oh,
Newt
yeah.
misses him.
It'd be insane. By the way, speaking of Newt and his Japanese friends, I seen a thing of him and Ichiro shaking hands where they got to meet, like I think in the Classic or something. Ichiro was at a game,
Coming
was
out
on the
of
field,
retirement.
and so Ichiro and Newt were sitting there talking, laughing with each other, and that is like, I love Ichiro.
Let's hire
He
him as
was
a coach.
always behind Derek Jeter. He was probably one of my favorite players growing up.
Who doesn't like Ichiro?
Like he's just so fun and exciting.
yeah.
And to see him and Newt together, bro, that just made my heart smile.
Hey, that just means we bring him in as a coach.
Oh yeah, that would be. Can you imagine
Some kind of coach.
Ichiro as like our coach?
He could
one of our
honestly probably
coaches.
coach anything.
Like he could be our assistant coach. Mark McGuire can come back as our hitting coach, or Matt Holliday or somebody. We could let's just stack our coaching staff.
just get all
Then
of
there's
our
no way that
ex-players
our players aren't getting taught good.
Yeah.
We're
Like,
going
right-
to be stacked.
Right now, we got a few no names.
Like at this
in
point, Andrew Kisner is going to win MVP if we get that kind of pitching or our
there.
coaching
Man,
staff. I mean,
Andrew Kisner, he needs to be thrown in a package too.
yeah,
Sorry, kids, but
we need to give that Barrera a chance.
yeah,
I think he'd at least do better than where we're at with our backup behind Wilson.
which thankfully, I guess, well, we've used him more than I thought we would. Don't really know why.
He's only hitting like a whopping 180 something. So
Yeah,
what's new?
yeah.
He did that all season last year at 190 after the whole season.
Spring
was
training,
over.
he hit like .085 or something.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that, like, and we picked him over Herrera.
Like, praise God that we at least got Wilson.
We
Because if
would-
that was our everyday starter, I'd probably jump off a cliff.
we'd be in trouble. Like,
Like,
thank you,
you know
Wilson,
what?
for choosing us.
So, by the way, our lineup that we had for tonight,
I didn't even look at the
was
lineup, to be
insane.
honest with you.
That was like my favorite lineup. Let me pull it up for you here. This is our this was our lineup going into tonight, and I think it was by far like my favorite lineup that we've had. And oh, by the way, when I pull up the app, very first story is Lars meets Ichiro. That's pretty cool. So our lineup for today, and no, Tyler's not in it.
Who's
And I still say this is like my favorite lineup. just to throw that out there. My boy's not even in it, but that's
Newt's in it,
okay.
though? I do know that.
So second base, leading off, Brendan Donovan. Second left field, Alec Burleson. Third, Goldie at first. Fourth, Nato at third. Fifth, Wilson behind the plate. DH, Gorman. And then center field, Lars Nootbaar. Right field, Jordan Walker. And then shortstop, Tommy Edman.
I like it.
I think the positioning and where they're at in the lineup is just absolutely on point. And that's what our everyday starting lineup should look like.
like
Identical. You can sub in like Carlson or O'Neal to them.
Yeah, just
But I enjoy this
occasionally.
lineup. Like a Newt, Walker, and Burleson in the outfield, or even if, we packaged Burleson or Carlson,
I mean,
if we get the right person.
might as well if we get
Shohei?
someone good. Especially, yeah.
I mean,
Shohei
we'd
or
get
pitchers.
we'd get
one
the
of
bat
them.
and the pitching, and a guaranteed finalist in the MVP like every year just because of who he is.
Gold
So
gloves all around.
and then we have a chance of getting his autograph. And if we got a chance of getting his autograph, we got a chance of being rich.
I'll say, you just get...
You just get an autograph from him every game on a ball, and before we know it, we're buying a brand new studio to do this podcast, not your garage.
Yeah,
Your garage is sweet,
But
but it ain't a
it'd
studio.
Be, yeah, I'll say, it'd be cool to have a studio.
It ain't our own actual studio.
Just go to multiple games and get Shohei to sign a ball or some jerseys.
And just start selling those bad boys for
I mean-
$700 a pop.
pay off the house, buy a studio,
That'd be great.
get a whole new setup for this podcast, and
That'd be great.
pay some players to come in.
I 100% want to halfway try and get somebody on this, like player-wise. Doesn't have to be a major league player, but I'd like to get somebody in here for a guest. Maybe one day. Is that a spoiler alert?
Spoiler.
You'll find out on deck. All right. Well, I think I've covered all my bases.
One more thing, because I had this like a week ago, but we didn't do the podcast, was the little bit of drama we had for a little bit between O'Neal and Ollie.
Oh, yes.
So
I have
obviously-
heard a bunch of both sides to this.
Yeah, so obviously everything's okay now. Everything with them is okay now.
Except for
what
he
I'm
doesn't
hearing.
hardly play anymore.
Yeah, like, they
Which
say
makes
it's
me feel
okay.
like it's not okay.
Yeah, they say it's okay.
Because he's been out like every other game since. And the
Yeah.
first 2 games after that, he was benched.
I think
So-
Ollie's still a little mad. But anyways, what happened
Man,
was
it's a
Ollie,
perfect deal
I
for a
mean
good
not
pitcher.
Ollie, O'Neal, there was a base hit and O'Neal was rounding third. Third base coach said, no, stop, don't go home. O'Neal ignored him, went home, got thrown out by a mile. But I also feel like O'Neal was not hustling. Like, if he would have been hustling, it would have at least been close.
Now, here's the 2 sides of this I've heard. And I'm not saying I'm fully on board either side. I can see both sides. O'Neal's one of the fastest players in the game. Let's just put that out there. It is statistically proven that Tyler's like one of the top fastest players in the MLB right now. Mm-hmm. That should have been an easy score. With his wheels, there should have been no reason he didn't make it. Now, on the flip side, I've heard that was Ronald Acuna. Mm-hmm. That was Acuna's arm firing that.
Yeah.
But when you watch the video, do you really see Tyler's leg just moving? I don't know. I don't know.
And I like O'Neal now. He's doing great now.
He's
But
hitting
at the
the
time-
280 something right now.
At the time, I was fully on Ollie's side. I don't know why, but in me, I was watching this live, and when I seen him going, I was ticked off immediately that he was going. Didn't look like he was even running, and I was like, immediately when I seen him get thrown out, I said, Ollie, you better sit him on the bench now. He did in that game,
And
I
it
don't
became
think,
a
but
whole
it did the next
fiasco.
time.
And I read an article, so it was like 3 big things that Ollie's done wrong or something like that, or that I forget how they worded it. The first one was his placement, mainly of when using Jordan Hicks, putting him in and ruining games and stuff,
Yeah.
and apparently, getting heat from that.
Yeah.
And then apparently he did get a lot of heat from whoever for his punishment and his words for O'Neal, mainly because instead of it being a him to O'Neal,
Yeah.
that's what happens. He put it for the whole social media to know how he felt about
Right.
Tyler, which everybody's thinking as a manager was wrong.
Which, knowing media, they try to get everything out of you. So
So in a way, media
it's
does
hard
twist
to
it.
it's hard to do it, but he could have just pulled the
He said he could have pulled the.
Just
That's
so I
going to
don't
be
get
handled,
fined.
and that's going to be handled, and just left it.
said
And we're going to
that?
handle
Marshawn Lynch. I'm
Yeah.
just here so I don't get fined. Just that's all I should have said.
that. Or, yeah, I mean, there was other ways that could have went about it, so I
Yeah.
can see where he'd get heat
For
from
sure.
it, for making it so publicly known that has feelings towards Tyler. And then, Tyler over here, bashing back at him.
Yeah.
That
was...
Which,
it was
and
bad
I
on
can
both
see,
ends.
and that's another thing where it's just kind of hard for me to pick a side, because how many times have you not seen Tyler make the stupid, like the easiest ground out become one of the closest plays at first because of his hustle and his speed? The boy is literally hustling 24/7.
Part of me feels like
I don't know.
Either he just wants a bigger contract or he wants to go somewhere else. I feel like.
Well, at this point, I feel like he is brewing in the trade room very highly after this fiasco.
I could see, like, right around the trade deadline before it ends.
As long as it's for a pitcher that's going to really boost our starting rotation.
Because we got plenty of outfielders, honestly.
Newt Burleson Walker tonight.
Yeah.
That's perfect. I'd be okay with it. Now, am I going to miss Tyler? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love Tyler O'Neill. Always have. He's got insane glove. Pretty decent arm. Super fast. And insane power when he barrels up. It's all the credentials. And, obviously, like, what was it, 6th or 7th in the MVP race year before last. Injury took him out last year. And he's hitting 280 something right now. It's not like he's got a bad average. His home runs haven't quite peaked up yet.
Which I'll take a 280.
If you only get 20 home runs, if you're ending the year on a 280, 290 average with 20 home runs and like 70 RBIs, I'll take that from every single player on my lineup and be perfectly fine with it. Because at that point, I know everybody's consistently at least getting the job done.
300 is rare to end the season on nowadays. 280 is good. Yeah.
Goldie.
We got
Mr. 316.
We got a few of them.
Oh, yeah. Goldie, Nado.
And O'Neill, if he
at this point,
keeps going, if he keeps going, we'll have O'Neill in there too. Donovan could easily do it because Donovan's
he's off to a little bit slower start,
but he's also the guy who can drop from he can drop to like a 230, 240 average,
and then just jump right back up
later. He did that not that long ago. He's in the 230s.
And then Tommy Edman, with his 4 for 5 performance with the home run the other night, that was big.
So close to a cycle.
Oh,
I think he was a single away, I think. Yeah.
He got all the work done except for the single. The easiest thing. But I don't care because I'll take the performance.
Yeah. We just like to see cycles. They're exciting. And they're super rare.
Yeah.
Almost more. Oh, I was about to say almost more rare than a perfect game. Did you see Drew Smiley's perfect game?
Drew Smiley, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. So close. And his catcher ran into him and ruined it.
I would have
in the 8th inning
punched him in the throat. That would have made me so mad if my catcher ran into me and ruined my perfect game.
I guarantee after the game, he went straight to that front office and said, I want a new catcher. Like, I would have for sure. I don't care if we were best friends. I'd be asking for you to be traded somewhere else.
Or at least benched for the next 5 to 10 games.
Yeah, I mean.
Or something.
A perfect game. No hitter's
in the 8th inning.
No hitter's one thing, but you got
in
a
the
perfect
8th inning.
6 outs to go.
Bro.
And your catcher ruined it. I don't know what he ended up doing the rest of the game, but
I think they took him out at 7 2/3.
I figured they took him out pretty close to that.
But I think that was obviously the only hit he gave up.
Yeah.
And obviously no runs and no walks.
Honestly, some could argue you could make that an error on the catcher.
I did the late games tonight, though, so I didn't have his option in DraftKings. But
I would have just. I mean, it wouldn't have been a perfect game anymore, but it still would have been the no-hitter. Could have counted it as an error on the catcher. Even though the catcher didn't touch the ball, he just jumped on top of it.
Boy, I really wish I would have had him in DraftKings. My pitching is awful. I picked Aaron Nola. He only got 11 points.
You should know better not to pick anybody from that team
anymore.
I
picked Gray from the Rangers because he's averaging 20 points a start. He only got 3.4. But that's okay. It's all right.
I think I got everything done, Zoe.
Yeah, I think I've covered everything I wanted to talk about. So.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Yep, good enough to me. I think we covered quite a bit of ground tonight.
Yeah.
So
hopefully it won't take us weeks to do this again.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get back on a cycle as long as we can all stay healthy and stuff.
On a cycle. The cycle. And we'll be a single away.
No puns intended.
All
right, well.
Thanks for joining us again.
Absolutely.
We'll be back.
We appreciate y'all. We'll hopefully be back. And don't forget to subscribe.